how do you feel your training camp is going?
I feel like it's been a good start. Obviously, there's always some plays you wish you had back. That's the nature of the game. But I feel like coming into this second year, kind of knowing what's expected. Knowing what's expected of me on a daily basis, what the schedule looks like, what practice looks like. It's not my first time doing it, which I felt like has naturally kind of allowed me just to relax a little bit, and really just. It's my second time hearing the language of the offense, so it's, everything's not new to me this year. So I feel like that's allowed me to, start moving on to second and third level things in the offense and understanding certain things. So I feel like that's helped me going into year 2 here.
You said second and third level. More second level, more third level. How would you kind of describe maybe where you are?
Yeah. Well, I would say just like level 1 is understanding the offense, as far as the schemes, what are the routes, what's the progression, and I think the second and third level things is understanding, okay, what do we like this scheme versus this coverage, or, if we see this coverage, I can get to my backside quicker, that type of thing. So, it's a work in progress, but I feel like that's where my mind's at this year is I'm not like really focused on my drop, my footwork, and how one hits this and reset here. Like that part is, I know it, So it's just trying to expand and help accelerate my processing of the defense to where I can get the ball to the right spot at the right time.
What did you take out of that experience you had going up to Buffalo and playing in a playoff game?
Yeah, well, and honestly, my mindset, like this offseason when I took time to digest that, I don't think it would get much harder than that, and I think that really helped freed me a little bit going into the second year, that I got to experience some challenging situations versus a good defense on the road. There were a lot of factors that I got to experience that I'm very grateful for, and I think helped me transition into the second year.
Was there communication with the franchise that after that experience and now you were competing for this number 2 quarterback spot regardless of who was signed?
Not necessarily. It was just, more so just talking about my off season and kind of what my goals are, what the coaches' goals are for me, and where they see that I can get better and what I can work on, and then me kind of give my feedback of my takeaways of what I feel like I can get better at, and vice versa. So there wasn't necessarily a conversation there. It was more so just how to progress my development going into this offseason.
What's been Mike's number one message to you, dating back to, I guess, OTAs to get better at this year?
I wouldn't say there was anything directly said. I just think, talking with my position coach and stuff is just making things look more fluid. I'm very, very critical on understanding the playbook. And like I said, I feel like I know the playbook very well, I know my progressions, I know my footwork, but sometimes I get too deliberate with it to where it kind of makes me late to something, or I hang on something longer than I should, and that type of stuff. So just being able to work more fluidly through my progressions and being smooth and, like I said earlier, just understanding what can move me to my second read quicker, or, what's the ideal coverages versus what we're running, and kind of accelerate that process.
Coach McDaniel talked today about wanting to give multiple players multiple opportunities to work with certain units. And he feels there's advantages to that, one of which is like the fair opportunity concept. In what ways do you feel like Coach tries to set things up to create fair competition?
Yeah, because I think there's, you see it out there today. There's times where, Tyreek and Waddle are in there with me with the twos, and the skill guys kind of rotate through all three groups, so all quarterbacks are getting reps with every single guy, which I think is good for everyone, because obviously, like we found out last year, it takes one play and things can be shaken up a little bit, so it's good to have reps with everyone, and I think that helps our entire football team, and especially going against our number one defense sometimes, it's not always 1 versus 1s, 2 versus 2s, 3 versus 3s, which just makes everyone better. And, I think that's a great philosophy Coach has.
Speaking of Tua, Mike's mentioned Tua's vocal leadership has been like a drastic change. He used that word specifically. Have you had any experiences with Tua where you've noticed his leadership style change a lot over the last year?
Absolutely. He's definitely gotten more vocal, taking more command in things, and I think you can just see his his comfort level has gotten a lot better with second year in the system. You know, as everyone on our offense. You know, it's not all brand new information. So, you know, I feel like it's easier to show your leadership style and express yourself in those types of ways as a quarterback once when you understand the system. You know, when you're trying to figure everything out, learn everything for the first time, you know, that's kind of where your focus is at first, because if you don't know that, then it's hard to lead in other ways. So I feel like Tua's gotten a grasp and have mastered the offense to where he's been able to be more vocal and take the leadership command. He's done a great job for our whole football team this off season. Sorry.